you mind if I speak to my associates here just briefly? This is out of earshot level.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't
fine.
hear this.
Put my hands.
Gentlemen, we're going to the Republic of Mana.
We need something for them.
Any evidence that we can bring to suggest that the great city has fallen? Anything of worth that we can perhaps barter with in exchange for their protection or for the mobilization of their forces is going to be worth something. We have 2 wagons here full of valuable information and valuable commodities.
More valuable than one life?
I'm sure we can put people on top of the wagons.
Every wagon
People can
we
walk.
bring that's not filled with supplies from my friend... What's his name? He's supposed to jump in.
Let's say
Save me.
I can't remember. I have no idea.
Voldemort.
No.
From my friend, the one who shall not be named.
Niara.
From my friend, yeah. You know, I've got a huge amount of supplies. We're just going to have to leave most of them.
Most of the supplies, most of the people, most of the books.
You keep talking about people. I'm not even going to look at you right now. If
More wagons are you've probably collected about 12 wagons at this point, including the 2
how
from
much?
this.
So how many wagons worth of supplies do we have?
You probably will have something like 20 wagons worth
Yeah.
to come. But you don't, I mean, the more you have, the better. And they're mostly things like foodstuffs. Like there's a really weird section, there's like bolts of cloth. There's a lot of stuff which will be useful for things like repairing clothes, but there's not like, and there's tools, but there's not really that many weapons.
That's right, my guys are
You
armed.
guys are already armed. You can probably source some weapons on the road or something like that. But I'm just letting you know the nature of the supplies you're having. It's the sort of supplies where it's not you need them or you don't. It's the more you can get, the better.
But am I correct in thinking that are there not towns that we can stop off at on the way to the Republic where we can refuel? Would it not be useful to have these people and perhaps ask for donations or more if you wish to help us resupply?
You're talking about like a library mobile.
I'm talking about saving the...
Oh, I thought you meant we'd drive around these books and people would like pay to kind of like get 5 minutes of like reading.
No, I was thinking more saving people and perhaps maybe we can find it financially beneficial for everybody, if that is your concern, and we may be able to refuel on our way there.
Gentlemen, I think we're missing the point here. It pains me to say this, but death is at our door. We're not doing anyone any favours if we take more than we can protect. If we have 300 people to protect, with my 30-odd men,
But
fine.
we won't have to protect. We will be fleeing away from this situation. They will be safe.
We don't know
behind
how many troops
in the
they have
Republic.
out there in the
We're off
plains.
topic. We're keeping the books.
My question, and this I think is really important, how well built are the carriages with these books in, and how well built are the wagons that you've managed to acquire us through various means?
I don't care much for your tone. They're probably excellent.
The
Are they
wagons with
tops or
the wagons with the books on have got like a canvas cover made out of like leaves, but they're massive because you're insects. But the books are probably on about the nicest wagons. A lot of the other wagons are more like ox carts. You know, they're single axle.
Still covered, or
No, open. Just basically 3 sides, and a bit like Gandalf's cart type thing. There's quite a lot of that sort of thing. And some of them actually don't have, like a couple of them, like maybe 4 or 5, don't actually have any animals in the.
So these are easily the nicest ones.
Yes.
As in, that would be better for the people to protect them.
I was
Is that
thinking
what
more
you
if we've
think?
got something that's fully enclosed, it's more defensible. So if the books' carriages were fully enclosed, we move the books onto a less sturdy wagon, and we use the more reinforced wagons as some sort of defensible position if we do get attacked. I'm thinking purely from the point of view if we do get attacked.
Okay. Do we need 2 cartfuls of books? Can we just not have a few sacks of the most important books?
It's up to
Off topic, it's weird how much I'm struggling with the idea of just throwing all the books out. Like, it's definitely what my character would do. I don't know, it's just like...
Something feels wrong about it, doesn't it? Something
About
feels
preserving.
wrong.
Is it better to preserve history or to preserve the people? who will make history in their own time, who will make culture in their own time.
Don't have to feed books.
Should we roll? Do we need some way of resolving this?
No, I think this is something you guys should probably role play out. But so basically,
How long have we got? Have we got any more of your men out searching for
okay,
carriages?
I'm going to put
or-
a little bit of urgency on this. So one of your boys comes running up and says, "Boss, we've got a problem."
Shit! I'll get in.
It's the fucking City Watch. They've taken. Need a name. Dan, magic of editing, please, on this. They've taken Colt.
Okay. I've forgotten your character's name again, sorry.
Derek.
is it Barrick or Derek?
Derek.
Derek.
Wait, who's called?
Derek with me.
He's one of his boys.
Okay.
Okay, so are you going to make a decision on the book? Like this lady says, she sort of hustles up to you and says, "I think you've been chatting for quite long enough. Can I hear an opinion?"
I'll say we'll take the damn books, and then I'll turn to my second in command and tell them to get the boys to get their weapons.
I'm going to do the same. Tell them half of them to stay with the carriages and with the refugees, and we're
We
taking
are
the other
about to
half.
start fighting within the city, and not
Don't
even
you
the
worry,
Red Ants.
they'll-
Can you guys roll to see how people are going to react? So just roll a dice each.
2. Oh, why is it always 2?
That's
Every time.
always common.
It's always
It's just the guys are the
mercantile.
most common people in the world.
I should be feeling
Dan.
military.
Urban. Okay, so your people are react like city folk would react to fighting on the streets. I would say that their reaction is that they're opposed to the idea of charging in with weapons drawn.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. When you said that, I thought you might mean that they just sort of like they closed their doors and they didn't sort of like worry about it. Or...
Right.
It's up to you, Dan. That was my interpretation. Like this stuff's cooperative.
Urban.
What your
Okay,
people
I'm
do.
thinking. Okay, so they know how a city works, and this is how this city will work. If we start bringing in all of our men to start fighting to save this one person, we've got a civil war on our hands in that case, and that is not useful at a time like this when we are about to be facing legions of red ants, possibly tonight.
Master Zal, don't jump to conclusions. None of us are suggesting that we're going to just go in and start fighting. I think Master Aardvark and I are both in agreement that really all we're going to do is politely go up to the guards who have arrested this man's young fellow and
We just to explain things. We just
attempt
gotta
a
explain
little
things.
bit of diplomacy,
It's a
something along the
misunderstanding.
lines of give us our man back, or we will kindly give you the sharp end of a sword. Take your pick.
Look, we're a team now. We've got to stand together.
You don't.
This city has provided us with nothing. We did everything within our power to speak to the governor, to get refugees to come with us, to get some sort of mobilization of the people here who are otherwise going to die. And they gave us books.
If we cannot mobilise them with us, can we just not mobilise them just to leave of their own accord?
So what are you suggesting?
I
We
suggest
attack them and make them run?
No, I suggest we find a way to send out a citywide alert, maybe, that people need to be leaving now. Wherever they may go.
I like that.
What?
Just that idea. It's a good idea.
We need somehow, whether it be through the governor, whether it be through putting up the damn big tent in the middle of the town and crying it out. There must be a way just
We've
to let
got
these people
until
leave.
nightfall. I mean,
Yes, and that is why we
Nightfall
need to
at
go
the,
now.
Guys,
at the soonest. It was nightfall at the soonest, but more likely tomorrow.
I call over my assistant Raphael, who, by the way, is a military engineer. Raphael, would it be possible to create some sort of explosive device that will make people think we're under attack? We
I
cannot.
cannot condone this.
Just an explosion, no one gets hurt. But if people think we're under attack, people will run.
And will they see red ants? No, they will see us, armed to the
We're
ear,
not
trying
going
to find
to
our
be
man.
there.
But they will see us as... We have not been... How long have we been in the city for?
We've got to look
Some
to-
of you guys have been here all your lives.
we grew up there, yeah.
But Ben grew up here. You guys, I don't know. When did you come to the sit down? It's up to you.
Oh, we've only come like a week ago, I guess, when the last city fell.
I guess we probably
Can you
did
not ask
something
your military advisor, you say, the engineer,
Engineer.
instead of rigging an explosion, can you not rig some sort of communication device or anything of that sort?
I'm not a fucking wizard.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't speak like that.
Fair enough.
He's not a hobbit.
Right.
It's called Raphael.
Yeah.
But that means
There's no Raphael who's ever
I don't want to do
spoken
like a spam still, like an aye. No, it's not happening. He goes, I'm not a wizard. Explosions, yeah, I've got my head around that. I'd suggest it went until nightfall, lighting a fire in the grass north of the city. That'd set people on panic.
What about something like a wall of flame between us and the red ants? Just something to buy us a little bit more time to get people moving, to get the supplies we need.
Burn out too quickly, but it will definitely get people's attention.
I like that idea. I can condone that as long as no one gets hurt.
Okay. Raphael,
Good.
take half our men.
Now we need to go and get my guy back.
Half our men.
Okay.
Get that set.
Okay.
We need to be ready in 2 hours, by nightfall, at the latest.
Okay.
I'm going to come with you, and we're going to try start spreading the word within the city for people to leave as well. Can I get whilst I'm going with them?
I've already gone. My guys are loyal to each other. They wouldn't.
Yes. I think that works. So you guys hasten off after Ben.
So we got about 12 wagons out of 20.
Yeah, if we could find some.
I mean, how many wagons does the circus have? Because I assume they have lots of them.
I assume we've got enough wagons
You
to
guys
take
have
our
got enough
stuff, and
wagons to
that's it.
take the stuff, your like standard stuff, and a
These are
little
the
bit of
extra-
supplies.
The extra ones that we found.
Yeah. So you guys have got enough wagons to take your own stuff, but yeah, you've got 12 of the 20 needed to take all their supplies. But I mean, that's a good amount of supplies. Like that would last you. Like a 20 would probably last you almost the entire trip. 12 will last you, about halfway, and you'll have to. And so you can forage along the way to ration those things out, or you can keep going and try and buy stuff further down the road.
Is there a way for me to, for Masters now to try and convince Bungley and Boogle to maybe perhaps not throw out like the circus stuff, but some of it which is just sort of for flourish. Like we need the main tent and some of the things inside, but can we like throw out some of our gear that we have, which isn't useful apart from for our circus, just to have more space, whether it be for supplies or for putting people on.
Roll all your dice, just like one of your pick a person to roll against, but it'll be better for convincing probably, is what you're going to try and do.
What, so as my person? I guess priest, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
So we got 2 1s, so we got 2 culture smarts, and we've got 2 4s, so we've got 2 endures. We've got science smarts. I guess I'll re-roll. Oh, and I've got notice as well, which is +1.
I don't know.
Can I re-roll this any or not?
Yeah, reroll as many as you want. So what was it? Endure and culture smarts.
Yeah.
I think culture smarts is the only useful one you got there. I don't think endure will be much use.
Okay. I'll keep culture smarts then. I'll re-roll.
Yeah, just
endure,
reroll.
Science notice or not?
Yeah, reroll the notice. I don't think you need to notice.
Okay, in which case I've got culture smarts again, more of that. And I've got more. I've got a lot of notice as well. Culture smarts and notice.
Culture smarts and notice. Okay, so
again, we can still do our shows. It's just sort of we've gotten rid of some of the gear.
okay. So what's your how much convincing have you got? Sorry, no culture smarts.
I've got
3
3 culture smarts.
3 culture smarts, and have you got 2 notice?
I've got 3 notice.
3 notice.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can basically go and talk to them,
Okay.
and using your culture smarts, you basically you've outlined a list. You can veto this idea if you want. This is what I'm thinking. You produce a list of like knowing what stuff that you can definitely afford. You definitely have to keep. What stuff you can afford to get rid of.
Yeah.
And what's coming up on the road ahead, what sort of towns you're going to likely to be playing, like hypothetically what the Republic of Mana has it's got quite a sort of refined culture, and so you know that when you get there you're less likely to need the bear baiting equipment or the fart harmonium, the fart organ, all this sort of stuff. Or I don't know. I'm not.
No, I like
I'm not
that
saying
idea,
what your thing has, but you can come to them with that argument, and they agree to like get rid of some of what you said. They don't take it.
And
all on
also
board.
the other way is like, and if we can take people and supplies, or people ideally, that's more customers as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. So I'm gonna. You get another 2 carts out of that.
Sweet. Okay, so now what's our card?
14 cards.
Yeah, was that presumably like your action for this time period?
That was my, I guess. Oh,
Yes.
would that be-
Well, these guys are shot off ahead, so you'll have to come
Okay,
and join
cool.
up with them later. So.
Wait, so I've got half my guys setting up this firewall.
Yeah.
to,
Do you want to go with them, or do you want to go with? Do you want to go with Ben?
Mr. A.
Can I send some of my men with him just to sort of keep that sense of loyalty? We are a team in all of this.
Oh yeah, you can
I want
absolutely
some
can.
muscle.
But you want to
Just
go.
in case.
You
But
want to go.
I want to basically make sure that we've got some sort of scouting and as much time, as much of a warning as we can possibly get. So as soon as they're in sight, we can move.
Okay, roll all of your dice. Pick whichever skill. So you're, what is it, duelist? I think leader's probably going to be more useful.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
so what have you got?
So I'm
2s and 5s.
so I've got 3 to fight, 3 for willpower. I guess I'll redo these two. I can drive again every time. And then that's not done anything. Shoot and endure. So I've got endure, fight.
Okay, so
I guess I'm looking to do some damage to these guys. Even if it's not a direct fight, I'm going to be looking at how can we sort of stall their advance. How can we inflict some pain on the red ants whilst we run away. So
okay,
I guess I start
I'm
looking
going
at
to
traps
say.
and
I'm going to say, as you're walking up, what was your rolling fight? Was it 3?
yeah.
Okay, as you're walking up, you guys are in the woods.
Mhm.
And they're working quietly along Raphael's orders. They're laying out oil. Some of this is from the supplies that Ben. Have your supplies started turning up yet? Or you guys have been picking them up?
Well, the guy was still trying to sell stuff.
Okay.
So I think presumably we've been taking stuff that he didn't want.
Okay, so you've got some
Some oil,
sort of
that sort of thing.
lamp oil and that sort of stuff, and you're getting through some of that.
Okay.
And as you're laying it around, you hear a shout from one of your guys off further down the line,
Mm-hmm.
the shout sort of starts to spread, and you sprint towards it through between the blades of grass, and you come across there's a patrol of 10 red ants.
How many men have I got with me?
Soldiers. You've got half your men, so a lot more than they've got, but they're all sort of spread out and disorganised, and you can see that one of your guys has already been killed, and so has one of theirs. You can use your fight to basically kill a bunch of them if you want.
How many men have I got immediately with me? So who's running along with
Immediately
me?
in the area, they outnumber. Well, did you grab some guys as you ran along?
I assume I would have.
Yeah, so you've probably got about 6 guys. There was 2 guys there. There were 3 guys there before, and there's 2 left. You've got 4 who you grabbed with you, so you've got like the 7 of you,
us
and
against
there's
9 of them.
yes, but there's you've got 50 or so guys, probably maybe I don't know how big a party is. Oh, you said it wasn't that big, didn't you?
Yeah. It was,
Oh, and maybe you've got another 50. Well, no, you've got probably 15 or 20 in total, something like that. So you
Okay.
you comfortably outnumber them. But these I mean, your guys are good fighters. These guys are also good fighters. They're not so much skilled as they're completely fearless and don't vary their own life, and they're naturally very big and strong.
Can I see how my party's feeling?
Yeah, absolutely.
3. Famous. They're feeling famous.
They're thinking this is
this is our time.
this is how reputations are built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I've got to follow that then, don't I?
Yeah. So you look around to you guys, and a smirk crosses one of their faces, and you sort of
I yell out a battle cry, calling the rest of my men towards me as fast as they can.
okay. You charge in.
The other 4 of us rush to the aid of the two already embroiled in combat.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say that because there's no consequences of the roll. You manage to finish them off, and no more of your people die.
Okay.
One of them gets injured. One of them loses one of his arms. But you got 4. You're not that bothered.
That's a flesh wound.
So you're bandaging them up, but that's delayed you getting back to the city. So we'll sort out what's happening with Ben now. So you guys are probably going to turn up about the same time, I think, because you both.
Wait,
had
did
to...
Ben actually stay for that whole encounter then?
No, Ben, you didn't go
No,
through
I
them,
went
did
to the
you?
city.
No, you guys actually split the party 3 ways.
Yes, 3 ways this time. So
We've got a
should
lot to do and not a lot of time to do it.
Yeah, should I roll these dice?
You will sort of. So yes, roll. Just roll and see what you've got. So at the moment you're looking at trying to find out where they are. You don't know exactly where the people have been taken.
Oh right, okay.
Or maybe no, it's up to you. You can decide if you want to. Yeah, if your boys have seen where they've been taken, then you rush right there.
So the guy came over to me and said they've got this guy. So presumably they saw him being taken.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. There's a cart where they collect miscreants, and it's making its way up through the town. It's going fairly slowly because they stop to pick people up, and it's like it's got a barred. It's like got a cage built into the back, like a wooden cage. And it's sort of slowly filling up with miscreants, and that's basically what you're doing. So you've got about 10 minutes till it gets out of the docks and enters the main part of the city, where it would be basically a lot more enforced. At the moment, there's 4 guards with it, each with armour and halberds.
Okay. Presumably, some of my guys are joining up with me as I go.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
a bit ragtag. I wouldn't have everyone as well, but okay.
So what's
Right.
this?
So I had to devilish scheme.
Yeah. Oh, fake.
Oh yes.
Oh, to be fair, have you got a bonus to fake?
No.
Oh, but three's not bad.
Fake's not bad at all.
3's good. You'll get. I'll probably give you a consequence, but it won't be a bad one.
You know the scene in Sherlock Holmes, like the film, where he finds himself dressed up as like some beggar and he manages to steal something. I'm imagining something like that.
Converse,
Imagining a disguise of some
connections,
kind.
figure
It's
out.
up to you, of course. I'm just
Okay.
imagining a Sherlock Holmes film.
What is it? So when I arrive at this caravan, I've got a bunch of my guys with me. What do the guards look like?
They're looking around. They're sort of looking around. Like only 2 of them are by the wagon. The other ones are sort of going like talking to people on the street. Sort of. I don't want to say harassing the crowd, but they're going along and sort of asking people, "Is that whose baby is this?" That sort of thing. Like they're just going along, like trying to basically catch anyone out. They're on patrol. They're not racing back towards the middle of the town. They are actively acquiring more. What's the word? Criminals. and your guys sitting in the back, and one of the guards is a spider, and you see that your guy's had his hands all webbed up behind his back, and is sitting on the bench looking bloody livid.
Okay. So we can use this fake to lead the guards away for a second. That's probably what we need just to spring this guy out.
You got your people with you as well, so you can like use them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what I'll do is I'll send people off down the street and just have them start like shouting like fire or something like that, and as they go down this like side street, and then as soon as the guards turn up, they can just take off.
Okay. I'm actually going to say, just because I think it'll be fun, that when you say fire, you point up to the hill, and like about 30 seconds after,
Oh shit!
the fire actually springs up, and then people in the street start panicking and running away. And the guards are just trying to they sort of don't know whether to stop people, whether to let people, whether they should run off and let people know. They're all standing there looking confused.
Okay. So
but that's
I assume this was my fire, yeah?
Yes.
The fire,
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a nice wall of fire now.
Shit.
yeah, it's burning off to the north of the city, and it's just making
What
people
time is
worried.
it?
It's getting to the evening now.
Okay, so I'll walk towards them and go, "You've got to go help them quickly."
Yeah, okay. This guy kind of looks kind of young, and he runs off, and another one goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake, Josiah!" Sets up after him, and then the other 2, but there's still 2 of them standing there. You can roll again if you want.
Oh, okay.
More fakery and mischief. Yes!
Jesus.
So much
Yes!
fakery
I
and
don't
mischief.
have any other japes or plans. What else could I possibly do?
Are you? Oh,
Well,
man.
what's in
you
the
help me,
surrounding,
help me.
what's in
No,
the
not
surrounding area?
I
What's in the
ain't
surrounding area?
If
Is
I
it
look
just them
around-
sat on a bench? Is there anything worth taking?
You're coming up towards. There's a small square that opens out ahead with it's got like a mooring post where people have tied up their steeds and beasts of burden, and there's like a big drinking trough in the middle. There's lots of streets branching off. It's a bit of like a bit where all the sort of tangle of streets cross each other. There's like a bar where it sounds like people are having a really rowdy time up ahead and on the left. You're literally just coming into this square as it goes.
Could easily get my guys to start a bar brawl.
You could
Do we have enough steeds for our wagons and carriages?
we don't actually. But
So I seem to
we were
remember
missing.
something.
Yeah, some of them were missing.
Yeah.
I guess we could, but the guards aren't going to follow if somebody steals a bunch of horses.
More like
No,
Wait,
horses.
Just blag it. Just blag
Just
it.
find
Look at this. Look at this fakery and mischief.
Can't you
Just
just
say
like
you're
point
the
and be like,
owners.
I just saw
you
someone
have
burgle
papers for-
something over there. You need to go because it's like they burgled some really important thing.
You're gonna have something quite good to convince them to leave the car. Like they don't want to. Like you have to convince them to leave the car with you. Really, like that you're trustworthy enough.
What's your mischievous ruse? You got a 4.
So much mischief.
Yeah.
So little time.
Man, anything could work, and I'll get a positive outcome as well. I just can't think of anything.
Any way that can benefit you?
Well,
Governor told me to take all these horses and stuff over to our caravan place.
I could.
We're gonna try and put out
What's
the
your
fire.
guys-
Come with us and help.
That's worth a try. Like, what the thing to do would be, I should lead them away with me and have one of my guys just free the people. I could, and the way I could make that work for me even better is if I tell them to come over with me and look at these horses not horses. Why do I keep saying horses? These
It's good
steeds,
enough.
These beetles.
These beetles that are all tied
Beetles
up here.
And yeah,
And
no, that's pretty cool. I need to come up with a generic horse replacement. I need to figure out which animal that's going to be.
Is it a quick
Millipedes are fast.
Millipedes.
Millipedes
But
got
millipedes
lots of
more like
legs. They're
public transport.
quite long.
That's a
Like
lot.
you could sit multiple people on
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I quite like that actually. Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's going to be my pure generic. I was thinking maybe
It's like-
ladybirds, but then they can fly, and that might be a bit.
No, yeah.
Not that flying
I
steeds are out of
imagine
order.
millipedes
They're
are
quite
like
common, but they're fancy.
a train
Like a
system. You know, millipedes are like the
train.
They're like
Yeah,
the subway.
they're like a whole caravan
Yeah.
in one, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, sorry Ben. So is there something you could use about the fact that you're an ant? I'm trying to think if there is. There might not be.
well, we could pretend to be red ants, but that sounds like it would go pretty badly.
Don't go red face. That's not. That's super
We're
offensive.
gonna red up.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? How about I tell my guys to go and steal a bunch of the steeds,
Okay.
yeah, and then I shout to the guards to go and help me get my horses back.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, that's a good plan. Okay, fair enough. So these guys run after you. These guys run with you. The guards, and they're all chasing, and then you sort of slow down. Yeah, and then you run back, and you're standing by the car, and it's a bunch of miscreants sitting in there, including your miscreant.
Yeah, I'll
Lurch,
just
whatever
say
it's
it's your
called.
lucky day, and I'll just pop the sides off and. Oh, I guess
Okay.
it's the lock, isn't it?
You
I
kind
smashed
of. I'd like ask you to roll something here. Just roll your things and see what happens.
Which one are you rolling?
Yeah, which...
Oh, is this for people or me?
This is for you trying to figure out how to get into the car. So whatever you think, really.
Could have used all these converses before.
yeah, I'm not sure conversing with a lock is
Willpower's
really...
not that
Yeah.
easy, really, is it?
Muscle.
Science might help if I freeze the lock. Hit it with a hammer.
Of cold.
Okay.
2
So
1s, 2
I have
2s, and 2 3s.
3 makes and 2 sciences and 2 converses and yeah. 2
Yeah, I'll let you do something. I'll let you combine. If you can combine the science and the makes, I'll let you figure out a smart way to pop the lock on this thing.
Okay, what does it look like?
The lock itself is the bars are made out of really stout wood, and wood is like harder than we think of it as like a
So
human.
it'd be like metal bars.
Yeah, I was thinking there's not metal in as well, but it's the equivalent of a big metal cage, lashed together with spider silk, which is notoriously hard to cut. The door's made of a lock. I'm trying to think what the fuck you'd make a lock out of if you didn't have metal. Maybe it's a really elaborate knot, but like a whole series of them, something like that. So it's like you have to pull the right cord to make it undo, and it's spider silk, so it's a bitch to cut through.
Can't it just be a strong wood, like a wood block or something?
Yeah, but if it's just how do you make a fancy? Oh, I'm saying it could be carved out of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have, like, a
old
key.
castle gates. They had a system where the crossbar would go across, and you have to have a special tool to remove the pin. and only the usually it was only the head of the city guard would have that sort of that tool. So it could be a similar sort of thing.
I like that. So it's barred. It's barred, and you don't have the key to it, but there's basically a key which could open it.
There's like a special tool which you could just push in somewhere and it would
Yeah.
like knock the cross.
Yeah, so you'd go in the top and pull it out from the top.
Could you make could you lockpick it? Kind of.
Are we allowed to all make? Are we allowed to make input on this?
Yeah.
Right, because
I've got quite a lot of science and quite a lot of construction, so like presumably I could,
improvise something.
I could kind of MacGyver some kind of tool.
You've also got Converse, don't you? And so is there like just a locksmith that's just next to you, and just like, hey,
what are the chances?
I left my keys in here with all these people. Could you open it up?
You could also brute force it, but in like a clever way.
What's the ground like? Are we talking like cobblestones?
It's cobbles, yeah. It's cobbles.
Is there any dust, dirt, sand?
Yeah, it's quite like the street's kind of grimy, but I wouldn't describe it as like sand, like dry sand. It's more like mud.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's round scraps of stuff lying around.
And
So the usual way would be to pour sand in it and shake it, and the pin rises up. But
Oh,
if it's
I
not
like that.
sand,
That would have been nice.
That would have been so
there's
cool.
no sand.
what about? What if you need a special pin? Can't you?
You could just steal the card. I think.
That's not a bad idea. If I could think of some way of just moving this cart with...
You can make some camouflage for it. Like you could like grab a tarp and throw it over the top. I guess that's not amazing camouflage.
What's the floor made out of?
Cobbles.
No, the floor of the cart.
Oh, the floor of the cart is made out of wooden like beams.
Thin, thick, well constructed.
So they don't look as sturdy as the bars around the outside. Like the underside looks more vulnerable. There's certainly gaps in it as well.
Anyway, you could push it, not with just yourself, but push it over. Or would that like collapse the bars?
How many guys
But
do
we
you
want the
have
cart,
with me
don't
now?
we?
You've got less than a
Yeah,
dozen.
yeah, yeah.
You've got like like 8 to 10, something like that.
Can you?
And like, is it on sort of like wheels or?
Yes, it's on sort of spoked wheels.
Steal a horse, take the cart. I see.
There is a steed already in the stocks of the cart. Like
Oh, okay.
So, could somebody just climb up on the front and just
Go.
Start the steed.
yeah, give it a go. I mean, do you have any ride or drive?
I don't have either of those things.
But maybe one of your guys will. But you turn to them and they're all like,
I'm sure one of my guys. You got a few of my guys there as well, and I've got ride and drive on both of my blokes. So I imagine riding and driving is something we do very well.
I've got an idea. Shall I suggest the idea to you? You've got all these animals that have escaped. You could tie some of the animals to one end of the cart, tie some to the lock, and get them both to go in the opposite direction, just to literally yank it open.
But the guys who took the steeds probably had to run from the guards.
Okay, that's true.
I doubt
Maybe some of the circle
They might
around.
be able to circle around, which would be hilarious when the guards eventually came back.
And they could find their empty
You just sort of have a lasso going ready. You just sort of whoop, and you head up.
The other thing is you could find something to use as like a lever to bust the lock open.
Yeah.
But it's still the beam thing, isn't it? Or are we going with?
Yeah, it's the beam, but like if he finds a suitable,
can't you twist like if you get some rope around some of the bars and then you get like a stick or something and you just
you
like,
can Shanghai Knights it.
shoot
I was
it?
going to say, has anyone seen Shanghai Nights?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can do that, and we could also try because they've got a steed on the front, so we can kind of unhook him.
Yeah,
And
I'd say take the whole cart, get all the prisoners out, but take the whole cart because we
Yeah.
can deal with the lock at a later stage, and then we've got an extra cart.
I agree.
If it's
there's
just
I'm not going to be
bars.
able to use these.
Yeah, but I mean,
um,
if it's just bars, we can sort of put things through it, and still, even if we can't immediately sort of just open the door to get.
if you
them,
want,
we
like
can
if you've
use
got
the
enough
cart.
time, I can let you use your mate to like dismantle the cart, just like as you're going, take it apart so it looks like
that
a
was
normal
actually kind of how I
cart.
was imagining these guys, as in, like,
Yeah, no,
most of the time they just wouldn't work at all, but when they did, like they would all work at the same time. And just
Okay,
do the same
let's
thing.
let's say that happens then. Let's say that as you're riding off, you've so it looks innocuous, but you've actually dismantled it in such a way that you could actually put it back together later. You're unpicking the knots as you go. And by the time you reach the gates where the guards are, it looks like a normal cart with some stuff on the back.
Mhm.
Do you take the prisoners with you? Is my question.
Do any of them look like, if I appraise them quickly, does any way look like they might be useful, or do they all look like sort of like hobos?
Mostly hobos.
Yeah, I'll probably give him a miss.
Okay.
You're just gonna push them off.
I just-
Tuck and roll.
I just cut him loose.
Okay, just tell them. It's your lucky day. You're free. Now run.
That's true.
That's
they're
true.
villains,
It would have been
so-
a bad time to be stuck in jail, wouldn't it?
But do tell them to run away.
Cool. So we eventually we get the car out of there and then just
Yeah,
Unput
you
the
guys
entire
can all. You guys, I think that's probably tied up all the sort of threads. You guys all reconvene. You see people are generally flooding out the city now, just because of the fire.
When I was
We
planning
did-
on doing my thing in which I went to the city, and I just somehow found a way just to alert people. Just
Okay, we'll go. Yes,
whichever way.
No, Dan, go ahead. Roll all your dice. I mean, you don't have. In fact, no. Roll your people. Roll your people.
Okay, roll my people dice. Because right now we've got some extra carts. Have we filled those yet, or what?
Yeah, mostly with the supplies from the city. Yeah, let's say you picked up all your. Not going to worry about picking up your supplies. We'll just.
What
hammer
about
with that.
what about people?
People?
Like, have we actually collected any citizens yet, or are we planning on sort of just picking them up as we sort of go and be like, "There's a fire."
If you
get on
want,
board."
you can
Well-
get a bunch. You can tell a bunch of people to come with you now. Like stand, be like, hear ye. You get your people to do it. That's why I'm saying if you roll,
Right, okay.
roll. In fact, seeing as you're giving them an order, I'm going to let you re-roll this if you don't like the result because
Rolling people.
yeah.
Got a 3, so that's going to be urban.
That's not too bad, is it?
Yeah.
You could say like,
guys
listen,
know that
you're going to struggle out there in the wilderness.
Yeah.
You know who can sort you out? Us guys.
We're a bunch of travelling people.
Don't use the
We're
word
used to
circus. Yeah, avoid the word circus.
People.
probably.
We're used to being on the road. We got supplies, and I mean, safety in numbers. Am I right? Let's on over to the Republic.
Also, don't mind the fire. That's just
Also,
for show.
don't mind the fire, and don't mind all the circus supplies. But yeah, and also all of my people know like urban on the other side with my people. They know like the best sort of spots.
The best
within the
places to
city.
do it. They go to the bars where
Yeah.
everyone's like it's kicking out
Central
time.
hub.
I can't help doing a little bit of juggling.
Well, not just that, but like family places. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Or a whole bunch of different places.
yeah.
We can keep you safe.
Look
They're
at distraction.
an inverted human pyramid.
Okay. So I guess that's what we're doing, and we're just trying to fill up all these carts right now. And beyond that, if we can't get people,
You feel the carts with people? I thought the carts were for supplies.
The cards are supplies.
If people, Dan, people have legs.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Okay, so people are walking with us, I guess, and if they're not, then they're walking away from the red ants and doing their own thing.
Okay.
But we're just getting the message
Are
out.
you guys going to ride overnight? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You don't mind me saying. I think it seems like the city. You're kind of done with the city.
Yeah. So this is as we're leaving this time, it's probably the last time. As you know, as we're like driving that car out.
So
Yeah.
what, are we reconvening now? We're reconvening at the caravan. We're all ready to move out.
Okay. So you people head off.
How effective have we been to like helping this city?
Oh, there's a lot of
Can
people
we see,
leaving, but
like-
you can see back at the city. People are getting out of the city, not in the most orderly manner.
Okay.
And there are some people who are sort of seeing where you're heading and they're walking on beside you. You're certainly not the only caravan that was parked outside the city.
Okay.
And so people are sort of flocking to some of the other caravans. You're probably one of the more accepting ones.
And the soldiers, can we see all the armoured people of the guards, city guards? Are they staying? Are they going? Or what? Is it disorganised on that front or what?
They're sort of desperately trying to sort some order in the floods of people running down the streets.
But they're not preventing them from leaving.
It's like people are getting mixed messages. So somewhere they've just opened the gates and let people through. Other places they're blocking. So it's a little bit chaotic.
Right, okay.
But people are still getting out of the city.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, you guys going to ride? You're not going to camp here. I'm guessing you're going to
No,
ride
right through the night.
Right,
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. As you're setting off, you can see overhead that storm clouds are starting to gather and obscure the moon,
Okay.
which is calm because it's fully night now.
So it's very dark as well.
It's dark.
We have lights.
Okay.
on.
Well, in
I
that
think
case-
we're gonna wrap up. Is what I was gonna do. Oh, look at that timing.
Wow.
I was just going to say, I guess my guys will form up around the outside of the caravan then.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, and you adopt what is fairly clumsily, but you'll soon become slick at adopting your road position, and you'll head off, and we'll decide what happens to you guys next time.
All right then.
Alright then. Cool.
Sweet.
Any lasting words? from our Benny boy Ben.
My character is Frances Drake. Her deal, she likes to get trip aces.
She likes to get what?
Deal. Still.
It's a present
I got it.
joke.
It's a classic joke.
She makes hilarious puns all the time, but no one laughs at them.
Oh, okay.
And that's why she's got this mean streak from. No
So,
one laughs at her jokes, so she wants to be in charge. Apart from having...
is she a bit of a hard ass then?
No.
Oh, okay. Because you
Where'd
said
you get
she's
that
got
from?
like a mean
Yeah,
streak.
it's got mean streak sometimes, but she's also really bipolar, so she's nice. at
Okay,
times.
fair enough. Cool.
But then she's also got really high charisma, so it's really confusing, and people never know where they stand.
So she's a tricky woman to deal with.
You in character, Nick?
Okay, no, not that ever. No, stop.
Not that ever.
Stop.
No, Dan, no.
Stop for days.
Okay. Guys, I'm trying.
I love the fact there's no stability. There is.